So one of the first things people ask when they buy a Quest headset, whether it's the Quest 2 or Quest 3, is what apps, what games, what tools should I get for it? And I thought today would be a really great idea for me to talk through some of my favorites that I play, and then talk about some that maybe I haven't played but I am very interested in and I've heard really good things. And I want to split up the ones that I do play on the ones that I play natively on the headset, and then the ones that I use PC VR to play. Now, let's go ahead and start with games that you can play natively on the headset and you do not need a computer to play. And one of the most popular ones that anybody who's heard of VR has probably seen at some point is Beat Saber. Beat Saber is a really fun game and I really do enjoy it. It's one of those games that I almost always suggest people try when they come over to my house and use my VR headset. It's a very fun game. If you've played anything like Guitar Hero or Tap Tap Revolution or any other kind of rhythm game, it'll be very familiar to you. You're basically using lightsabers to play along to the music. And there are tons of genres. There's a bunch of music built into the game, and then there are also plenty of music packs you can go ahead and buy if you want to, with tons of genres. And there are also ways that you can get custom songs as well. A game that's a little less popular, but I really do enjoy it, is Golf Plus. And as much of a fool I feel playing a full round of golf in my underwear in my living room, Golf Plus is a ton of fun. It's really cool to be able to play real life golf courses and be able to play those with friends with the multiplayer is really great as well. They also have a driving range aspect, and again, there are tons of courses built in and there are tons of extra courses you can go ahead and buy. You can also use a golf club attachment for your controller to make it feel a little bit more realistic. All in all, really enjoy Golf Plus. Now the next game is Pavlov Shack, and if you've ever heard of Counter-Strike, then Pavlov Shack will be very familiar to you. It follows the same kind of principle. It has the same main game mode of terrorists versus counter-terrorists, as well as a few other ones. This is one that originally existed in PC VR only, and then it was ported over into a mobile-friendly version with Pavlov Shack. Another great game is 11 Table Tennis. This is one that you can play with your friends, and it's a nice, more relaxing competitive game that you can play. And I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I have it both on the headset and on PC VR. Now, a tool that I highly suggest to almost anybody who wants to play PC VR is Virtual Desktop. I've done a couple videos on this, and it is an incredible app that allows you to connect to your PC entirely wirelessly, and I still think it does a lot better than the one that Meta ended up bringing out for the headsets. Virtual Desktop just does such a great job, and I think with the Quest 3 and having all of those AR modes and the mixed reality modes, Virtual Desktops is even greater because not only does it allow you to play the PC VR games with your Quest headset wirelessly, but you can also just wirelessly use your computer desktop and browse the web and do whatever you want, but be able to do it with your headset, which is really nice. Now, if you want a little bit more exercise, Thrill of the Fight is one of my most recommended games for anybody who says they want to use their headset to get a little bit more activity and physical activity in. It is a very fun game. I really do enjoy it, and you don't realize how much you're going to sweat until you start playing this game. It is very physically intensive, and I think on the MetaQuest 3, they improved it even further, where you can use the mixed reality mode and fight someone in your living room and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. Inexpensive game, but a ton of fun. And by far, my most recommended game on the headset is Walkabout Mini Golf. This game is super relaxing. It's incredible to play with friends. It's not just mini golf. On the easy courses, you have a little bit of a treasure hunt to find missing balls on each hole. And then on the harder courses, you actually have to use clues to find particular objects on each hole, which makes it a lot of fun. When you find the golf balls, you get to use those in the game. When you finish all of the clues on the hard course, you get a new club. So it's kind of cool that they give you these little rewards for doing all this extra stuff. And the game comes with a bunch of great courses built right into it, but there's also a lot of DLC courses. One of the most incredible things about this game is that one person needs to own the DLC course, and everybody else that joins their lobby can play the course as well. They just can't do the treasure hunts, but they can play through the course entirely fine. Only one person needs to own it, and I think this is a really cool way to just relax and chill with friends. It's my favorite game. It's the way that I like to socialize with VR games, and honestly, hands down my favorite. Now, in terms of games on PC, I already mentioned that I do play 11 table tennis, and the reason I like Pavlov on PC is it's way more fleshed out. It's been on there for a lot longer. The higher fidelity makes it a little bit more enjoyable, and there are more servers and stuff available on the PC version. Another really fun game is Blade and Sorcery. This is a sandbox style game where you can be an absolute hooligan and do whatever you want. Playing it on the PC means that you have access to an insane amount of mods that can really make this game into any franchise you can think of. They've got Star Wars, they've got Spider-Man, they've got the whole Marvel series. They've got a ton of fun, and it's a really fun game to play in the sandbox. They've been working on adding some more campaign style things so that you have some progression to work towards. They only have a few dungeon crawlers right now, and I think they're still working on the storyline, but this is a really fun game, and it's one that I do try to ask people to try when they are trying my VR headset. Along those same lines is Boneworks, and Boneworks is extremely similar to Gary's mod on PC. Again, it's still a large sandbox. It has a lot of creativity that you can do with it, and it's a really fun game, but there isn't really a purpose to it. So it's just more of a fun one that you can just kind of fool around in. Tabletop Simulator is another really fun one that I play on PC, and the reason I really do enjoy it is that sometimes it's just a lot more fun to play the card games or the board games that you can do in Tabletop Simulator using just a mouse and keyboard, but doing them in VR can just make them just a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. Not everybody that's playing has to be in VR, so you can do a little bit of a mix, and it's a great game to pick up if you have a VR headset. One of my you must play VR games by far is Half-Life Alyx. It is probably the most polished VR game I have ever played. It is incredible. It was such a fun story to play through. I didn't want it to end. There are some mods and DLC that people have created where they've ported some of the actual original Half-Life games into the VR world, where they've created extended stories, which is really fun. Half-Life Alyx is amazing, and if you can experience it, I highly do suggest it. Another fun game that you can play with friends is Arizona Sunshine. This is a zombie shooter. It's a lot of fun. It has some fun writing. The story isn't anything super compelling, but I think it's just a really fun zombie shooter to play with friends. Another really fun shooting game is Duck Season, and this is practically just the duck game from the NES. And you can play it in VR. It's got a really fun kind of storyline to it in the background. It's a fun game. I really do enjoy it, and I like playing games that I already know of in a different manner, which is in VR, which is kind of fun. And as I mentioned in my accessories video, I do like playing a lot of racing games, and the two racing games I play the most often are Dirt Rally 2.0 and Assetto Corsa Competizione, first try, perfect. Playing racing games in VR is an incredible way to really up the immersiveness of them, whether you're playing with a racing wheel like I do, or even just a controller. Being able to look around in your environment really adds to it, and put yourself in the car, which is really fun. It even makes it even further in Dirt 2 because you're drifting around a corner on a cliff and you can kind of look over the cliffside. It's a really fun experience. I really do enjoy it. And again, my friends who play in VR with just a controller enjoy it just as much. Now, for some games that I don't own that I think are ones that you should really check out, if you really like the idea of the rhythm games like Beat Saber, but you want to use a different medium to play along with the beat, Pistol Whip and Synth Riders are really good options. They're both extremely popular. I have played Synth Riders on someone else's headset before, and I have played Pistol Whip at a VR arcade before. Both of them are a ton of fun. Dungeons of Eternity is a really cool hack and slash dungeon crawler style game that's a lot of fun with friends. I highly do suggest checking this one out, and if I can convince my friends to get back into playing VR, I would love to pick this one up. If you like the idea of Arizona Sunshine, but you want something a little bit more serious and more story-driven, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is available, and it is one of the most popular zombie games on the headset. Very well made. People really do seem to enjoy it. I haven't picked it up yet myself. I've been kind of debating whether or not I want to buy it on the headset or buy it on PC, but it is available and it is very well regarded. And speaking of Arizona Sunshine 2 has recently come out and people really do seem to enjoy it. It seems like the dev team took what people really liked about Arizona Sunshine and brought it into number 2 and helped fix all the things that people maybe didn't like about the original game. It's a great zombie shooter, and again, I really do like this one with friends. Sticking on the zombie theme, Resident Evil 4 was ported over for VR, and this is one of the most played and downloaded games on the MetaQuest. It is extremely popular, and people are saying that it's probably one of the best remasters or remakes of a game that really changed the experience and elevate it to a new level. Highly suggest this one. If you do want some more puzzle style games, Myst is another great one that is a remaster of a much older game that recently actually got remastered on PC, and then they remade it into a VR game. A great puzzle game, really well made, and a fun puzzle experience. Another great puzzle game is The Room. This one is extremely popular, and it really puts you into a mood that fits really, really well and really pulls you into the storyline. If you want a more physical puzzle game, however, Cubism is a really fun one. This is one that I've gifted to a bunch of friends. They like it because it gets them to think a little bit more. There's not really much of a storyline, so they can just kind of hop in, do some puzzles, enjoy it, and then hop off and do something else. If you'd like to play an adventure game, Red Matter and Red Matter 2 are available. These are visually stunning games, and people really do seem to enjoy the visual aspects of them. I would love to check them out at some point. Wait for them to go on sale or something, but great adventure games if you want to check them out. Finally, I wanted to wrap this up with some free-to-play apps. Hyperdash is a really fun FPS competitive shooter. It's free, it does a really good job of what it is, and it's a simple one that you can kind of hop into and get your legs into a first-person shooter. Rec Room definitely seems like it's made for kids, but it is a really fun game that has a bunch of games built into it. When I got my friends to start playing it, we did things like bowling, basketball, paintball, and they even have a really fun dungeon crawler built in. Along those same lines, Roblox is actually now fully available in VR as well. People build all their own games in there. There's a lot of stuff available, so check that one out. And if you've heard of VR, you've most likely heard of VR Chat, and that's another great free-to-play experience that you can get really creative with and just enjoy a more social experience. And that is my much longer than I'd expected list. If there are any games that you really do enjoy that I did not mention, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. I'd love to check some of those out. There are also a bunch of games that I did not mention because I already went over my original time that I had allotted for this. I will be leaving all of those other ones in the description below, as well as the ones that I did mention. Some of those links may be affiliate links, and if you do use them, they do support the channel, and I really do appreciate it, but you're in no way obligated to. They are just there for you. And with all that said, I really do hope you found this video helpful, and if not, I at least hope you found it interesting. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can leave those down in the comment section below, and I'll try to get to them all as quickly as I can. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors, Thoughts Lime and Step Back, and thank you for watching to the end of this video. If you want to see any of my other quest-related videos, you can check out the playlist right up here. And as always, stay safe out there. I'll see you next time.